If the only thing you know about Afghanistan is blue burqas, Taliban, and 9/11, I'm going to give you some fun facts and brief historical context of Afghanistan that you need before diving into any political analysis. Number one, let's get into Afghanistan's geography. A common misconception is that Afghanistan is just deserts, sands, and camels, when in reality, this couldn't be further from the truth. Afghanistan has an incredibly rich and beautiful natural geography, with mountains and snow up in the north to valleys, rivers, canyons, lakes. Honestly, one of the most beautiful countries in Central Asia, or across Asia for that matter. Afghanistan is also a landlocked country located in Central Asia, which made it ideal for any trade routes going through, always had to go through Afghanistan, also called the heart of Asia. So the Silk Road went through Afghanistan, empires went through Afghanistan. It was honestly a central location for so many different empires. That leads me to point number two, which is that Afghanistan is incredibly ethnically diverse. Various different ethnic groups and religions, ethnic groups ranging from Pashtuns, Tajiks, Hazaras, Turkmens, and Uzbeks, and those are just five that I can name off the top of my head, to different religions like Buddhists, Sikhs, Hindus, Jews, Muslims. Such a variety of different looks and beliefs. There's not just one way that an Afghan can look like. They can look anywhere from very brown to very white to somewhere in between to looking Turkic, looking East Asian. There's really not one Afghan look. 3. Afghanistan has an incredibly rich history. It actually started off as an ancient Buddhist civilization, where in 6th century they carved Buddhas, big Buddha statues called the Bamiyan Buddhas, and that existed in Afghanistan for centuries, up until 2001 when the Taliban unfortunately destroyed it. 4. Afghanistan's famous nickname is the Graveyard of Empires, which is because of the fact that so many different empires have tried to conquer Afghanistan and stay there, but none were able to stay for very long, even ranging back from like centuries before the United States. The Persians who brought Persian to Afghanistan, the Turks, Mongols, even Alexander the Great came to Afghanistan, but none of them were really able to stay. 5. Afghanistan has actually had democracy long before the United States did, through an ancient Pashtun practice called Loya Jirga. This is when the tribal elders would come together as a committee and take democratic vote on major decisions to be made, whether that was problems that people would bring to the committee, electing a new leader, foreign policy, etc., etc. This system was actually used in 1747 to elect the leader of Afghanistan, where they appointed Ahmad Shah Durrani. 6. Afghanistan is actually home to a lot of fashion, arts, and culture. For example, did you know that the lapis lazuli stone that you see even the ancient Egyptians wear, to people are wearing now in boho chic, actually originated in Afghanistan? It was first discovered in a cave in Balkh, Afghanistan, 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. The Afghan coat, as the name suggests, also originated from Afghanistan. And also, the poet Rumi, you may have seen many of his quotes on Instagram, also was from Balkh, Afghanistan. 7. Did you know that Afghan women actually earned the right to vote a year before women in the United States? King Soraya Tarzi and King Amadullah Khan at the time were the rulers of Afghanistan, and they advocated for equal rights for women and voting rights for women. And they actually gave the right for Afghan women to vote in 1919, whereas the women in America were given the right to vote in 1920. 8. Afghans are actually incredibly known for their bravery. I'll tell you the story of the First Anglo-Afghan War. The First Anglo-Afghan War happened when Afghanistan was centered right in between the empire in Russia and the British Empire in India. British Empire was really scared that the Russians were going to take over India by first taking over Afghanistan, this is also known as the Great Game. And so Britain was like, okay, we have to take over Afghanistan first before Russia gets to it so that they can keep their colonial interests safe in India. They try launching an attack on Afghanistan and try overthrowing the ruler and inserting their own ruler so that they could basically take control over the government. What ended up happening was 16,000 forces of British army completely obliterated by the Afghans. They left one surviving army surgeon and took him to Kandahar and let him free so that he could tell a tale of caution to the rest of the British forces. 10. Afghan people are incredibly hospitable. If you're ever looking for someone who has the most hospitality, it's definitely by far Afghans. Not only is the food amazing, they're incredibly hospitable people. The culture is amazing. The dance is amazing. Their music is incredibly rich before the Taliban took control. We had the Afghan rabab, which is an Afghan instrument, also very beautiful. The Afghan tabla. Take a listen to any Afghan music and you will fall in love. I hope these 10 fun facts were able to give you some context about Afghanistan as a country outside of war and the Taliban. I apologize if there's something that I left out, but let me know if you want more.